Ladies and gentlemen, a new snapshot for Minecraft Java Edition 1.16, the Nether update, has been released. Here is 20w19a. This snapshot comes to you with some world generation and the mob spawning changes, as well as a boatload of bug fixes. My name is slicedlime, come with me on a guided tour of all the changes in Minecraft Snapshot 20w19a. Let's start with those world generation changes, shall we? The distribution of biomes in the Nether has been tweaked again. Biomes will have moved around a little bit, and in particular there should be fewer instances of very small biomes. Patches of blackstone and gravel will now generate in all Nether biomes, and patches of soul sand will now generate in soul sand valleys as well. In addition to this, there's a structure change in the Nether as well. Bastion remnants are now a little bit less common. Let's move on to mob changes, and let's start with village changes. Iron golems can now be spawned by villagers regardless of what their profession is or how long time it is since they last worked. They still need to sleep. There's still a set amount of time since their last sleep that they can spawn an iron golem, but they no longer need to have worked or even to have a profession. There's also a huge number of bug fixes related to iron golems and to villagers. Iron golems wouldn't stop spawning in some certain circumstances, and they could clump up in big bunches. That has been fixed in this snapshot. Villagers could try to sleep in occupied beds, would sometimes not sleep in beds at night at all, and would occasionally just wake up and stand on top of their beds instead of laying down in it at night. There were also a number of problems with the villagers specifically that spawned in together with a village. Their pathfinding distance to their point of interest blocks was wrong, which meant that they did not pathfind as effectively as new children. That bug has been fixed in this version. Mob spawning has been changed in this version. Spawning of mobs now more closely adheres to the mob caps. This is especially visible in fish. Sometimes you would get extremely high numbers of fish because of pack spawning. Now, spawning will stop after a chunk has been populated if the mob cap has been reached. In addition to this, fish in particular have been tweaked further. They now have their own mob category, the water ambient mobs, spawn closer around a player and despawn more quickly. Another change to mob spawning: mobs could spawn inside of some blocks that would hurt them, including wither roses and berry bushes. That has been fixed in this version. Endermen didn't teleport when on top of magma blocks, they would just stand around and take damage. That has been fixed in this version. And a couple of nether mob fixes. Piglins and hoglins didn't zombify while in the end, only in the overworld. That has been fixed in the snapshot. And piglins would rather use an unenchanted crossbow than an enchanted crossbow. That has also been fixed. Gameplay fixes in this snapshot. First and foremost, fishing has been fixed. In the previous snapshot, you could not reel in when you had thrown out a fishing line. That has been fixed in this version. When using bone meal to grow weeping and twisting vines, the amount of growth per bone meal application has been lowered. And another nether vegetation related change: you now need to use shears to get an item when you're breaking nether sprouts. A bug has been fixed where you could activate your Elytra wings to negate the effects of levitation. And the compass and clock items inside of the recipe book can no longer be abused to tell the time or direction. A couple of follow-on fixes for redstone mechanisms changed in previous snapshots. Redstone will now visually connect when going up soul sand and other visually full but non-full blocks like full snow layers. And dispensers will now properly play the successful sound when dispensing glowstone into a respawn anchor, assuming that the respawn anchor could be charged. A couple of statistics fixes in this version. There's a new statistic. It is distance by strider and collects how many blocks that you have traveled while riding on a strider. Another statistics fix is that the shield use statistic now properly counts the number of blocked attacks. A whole number of visual fixes in this version. One major one: enchantment glint now once again renders on shields, tridents and elytra. Crimson roots, warped roots and nether sprouts now have random offsets on top of blocks. And the bottom face of blackstone and blackstone walls have been fixed to use the correct textures. A number of fixes have been done to text rendering, including the letters of name tags being inconsistently rendered, entity names not being colored when they should, and the map marker labels not rendering properly. Piglins with pumpkins or other blocks equipped on their heads would sea fight. That is fixed in this version. And saddles on untamed horses now render again. powered redstone dust now generates particles from the entire extent of the powered shape, and warped and crimson doors now have hinge pixels. UI fixes in this version: the smithing table and anvil user interface now have the inventory title above the player inventory. The color of player names in the tab list are no longer too dark, and the category text in the creative inventory is no longer bold. Technical changes in this version: there's a new block tag. It is called Prevent Mob Spawning Inside. By default it contains the entirety of the rails tag with the roses and berry bushes, and this function is to prevent mob spawning inside of that block space. The default implementation of the stairs, block and item tags now delegate to the wooden stairs, block and item tags instead of specifically enumerating all the wooden stair types. This also means that the nether wood stairs are now included. And a bug has been fixed with piglin bartering loot, where if you added a loot table with more than one loot item, then only the first item would be dropped. Let's round off with a fix to performance and stability. Rail updates in terms of collisions were 3 to 4 times laggier than before version 1.13. That has been fixed in this version. And those are all the changes in Minecraft Snapshot 20w19a. Now do remember, if you want to try this out, that it is a snapshot and they are less stable and less tested than normal versions. So if you want to try this version, do so on a backup of your world or on a separate test world. Any world that you upgrade to a snapshot can never be downgraded to a previous version again, so be careful. If you do want to try it out but you don't know how to, then click on the link on the card on the video right now or in the video description. That'll take you to a tutorial video about how to get and play a Minecraft snapshot. And that was all I had for you this time. I hope you found this update video useful, and if you did, please help me out in return, leave a like and share it with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Minecraft news, then please subscribe to this channel where I make update videos about every new snapshot, pre-release or release of Minecraft. And don't forget to hit the bell icon, you get notified when new videos are out. My name is slicedlime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.